Hello Future Damien. It's currently the 24th of May 2021, actually like midnight. It's a Monday. But as you can see, I'm not in camp. We'll get to that in a bit. So what's changed between last week and now? Well, first of all, I think my skin is a bit clearer now. I've been having problems, if you haven't noticed, with skin and acne over the past few months. So things have started to finally clear up a little bit. The second thing, well, I didn't really mention this like last week, but I kind of want to say this, is that where I am right now is sort of a weird cross junction. I've sort of developed a new sense of self, but at the same time there's seems to be like things that I've lost that I'm trying to actively find again. I've been going through old music, old playlists. I've been reading old diary entries. I've been watching old PDFD videos, and there just seems to be not just one thing. This really hard to nail down sort of amalgamation of things that have been lost since the past year, I guess. And it's not just national service which has caused this, but it's sort of a lot of things at the same time. It's NS, it's graduation and not seeing my friends, it's isolation and further not being able to see people, or the barrier of effort that it takes to sort of make these arrangements is way higher now, and it can feel almost wrong to be going out and trying to meet people. Did I mention this already, that we are rolling back from phase 3 to phase 2, and phase 2 bracket heightened alert, which is sort of this like phase 1.5 kind of deal where the maximum group that you can hang out with is a group of 2, also known as buddy level. And once again, dining out has been suspended and you're only allowed to take away again. More essential services are still open, but there are definitely more restrictions on that. I'm sure if you dig into the legacy of phase 2 heightened alert, you will find out all the details for yourself if you really wanted to. The last thing I've noticed is well, because I'm still editing the past phases videos, the February videos for my side, the thing that I've noticed is that the phrase "I've changed" or "I've grown" has become very much a cliche, and yes, this series naturally will evoke those transformations, those feelings of growth and those feelings of change, but it's, first of all, it's such a repeated point that's it's sort of ear grating at this point. So I'm sorry you have to hear that so much over the past few months back then, or even last week. Did I mention something about change last week? I can't remember. I'll find out when I edit this batch eventually. And secondly, it's such a vague statement that just mentioning it by itself doesn't actually have any practical value. Either because we forgot to mention it, or because it's too intimate that we feel like we shouldn't mention it in such details. And so what's the point of mentioning it in the first place if you're not going to be able to back yourself up with explanations or justifications or examples of any of that? Now it feels like I'm writing a freaking history essay. But that's kind of the sentiment that I've been getting. It feels like I'm writing a thesis statement without any of the justification that would give the thesis statement any sort of value whatsoever. So where are we now? And why am I at home even though it's a Monday? Well, first of all, joint term has begun, and the first week of joint term plus the first day of the second week of joint term is entirely home-based learning, so hooray for that, except for a few people who are absent from camp. And when I say a few, I mean like 2/3 of the way, no big deal, who missed one of the items during last week. So it sucks to be them. They have to book in like 2 extra days compared to the rest of us, while we get to book in on June 1st. So now until then is HBL, which means we'll be attending online classes via, I think, Google Meets. Holy crap. I thought that I could escape the HBL experience after graduating, but no, I guess not. So that one came to bite me back in the ass. So I'll get through this first week of HBL, and then next week there'll be a little bit of HBL for 2 days and like 3 days in camp, and the last week after that will be preparations for the big commission, where your boy will finally get that 1 bar. So looking forward to that, looking forward to seeing you, and I will see you next week. Future Damien. Also, like this green thing that I have going on, I'll be like the thumbnails now. I'm in a bit of a black and white phase. Yeah.